My name is Pinja Sipari. I am the person behind Teacher's Climate Guide. Teacher's Climate Guide is a free and open climate education website. It is made for subject teachers working in secondary schools and high schools. It can be found online from this address, open ilmasto-opas.fi. My background is in teaching. I have a geography and biology teacher education, but I've been working mostly on environmental education in different organizations. My specialty areas are in climate education and also garden education. I've been developing and training teachers in school gardening and making school gardening materials in Finland. This Teacher's Climate Guide project is funded by a private foundation called Mayen Tord Nessling Foundation. I have a personal funding for the project from there. The project has been made during the year 2016. I'm the main person behind it. I've been doing the planning and organizing and writing and editing mostly, but I have had a big group of professional volunteers helping me in different stages of the project. There were 2 ways of participating. In the springtime I organized about 10 different workshops where we together collected ideas and concepts and themes that should be discussed in the material and in the final website. There were many teachers and climate researchers and climate activists and some students participating in those workshops. The other possible way of participating was online during the whole project from the very beginning until almost to the end. I had open Google documents. And first I was collecting ideas, just like in the workshops, but just online, key concepts, keywords and concepts and links and things that people wanted to have or to include in the material. Based on that idea paper and on the work that we did in the workshops, I created drafts for the contents of the articles, and then I started writing the articles. That took a lot of Googling because there were like very hardcore professionals helping me out, collecting the key concepts and things. So I had a lot of work finding out what they meant, what they wanted me to write about in the guide. And I also learned a lot because of this during the process. When I started writing the articles, they were also open Google documents all the time, so people were able to comment and edit and participate in the moment that was the most suitable to them all along the process. During the project there were more than 100 professionals from climate science and teaching helping me out. So that's why the result is good. So we had a big group of professionals doing it together. The idea behind the project is to help teachers to include climate change into their teaching in a way which is relevant to them from the viewpoint of the subject they are teaching. I got the idea for the project from my observation and also research that suggested that teachers are at the moment lacking knowledge on climate change. Climate change is a severe problem affecting the natural world and the human world already now and even more in the future, but the teachers are lacking knowledge on concepts and the whole idea of climate change. They also are lacking skills in climate education, and they need ideas on how to deal with the subject in their own teaching work. So hopefully now Teacher's Climate Guide will be one solution to this problem. Usually when we talk about climate change in general, we divide it into the whole phenomena into four different entities. The first one are the causes of climate change. The second one, the consequences, what happens due to climate change. The third one might be the solutions. What can we do to slow down climate change? And the last one would be the adaptation. We now already know that it is not possible to stop climate change. We can slow it down, but at the same time we have to start adapting to the consequences. So adaptation is one of the viewpoints. Teacher's Climate Guide has a bit different perspective in this division. It describes a climate change from the viewpoint of every from every subject taught at school. In the website there is one page for each school subject, and in that page you can find an article about these information and knowledge on the specific concepts chosen to be important to that subject. There are also photos that the teachers can use when putting up PowerPoint presentations, for example. And then there are assignments that the teachers can have the students do concerning climate change. On top of the subject-specific articles and pages, there is a general explanation about climate change, what it is in general, and also an explanation of what is climate education, and also some tips for the primary school teachers how to do climate education in primary school, and for all the teachers how to cooperate, how different subject teachers can cooperate on the matter of climate change teaching. Now I will try to explain a bit what I mean by the different viewpoints for different school subjects. I will compare here the contents of the chemistry article and the visual arts article. In the chemistry article, the themes handled are atmospheric chemistry. Then there is information on greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect, carbon cycle, ocean acidification, and what have those things got to do with climate change. Then there is a section on climate solutions. How can chemistry help with that, with those solutions? There are, for example, examples on sustainable energy production and what can chemistry knowledge do to help developing those kind of mechanisms. And finally, there are specific tips for chemistry teachers on doing climate education. Then we will jump on the visual arts article. As you can see, the contents there are quite different. There is one theme on art as a tool for change, for social change. This means, for example, climate communication. What can art do to make climate communication better? Then there are ways designing, industrial design, for example. That is something that art has a lot of things to give to. Different examples like this. Then there's a section for processing emotions and what can art do to help with that, and what has that got to do with climate change. There are also examples of artists taking action on climate change, which hopefully inspires the teachers and the students on doing maybe something similar themselves. And then in the end there's also tips for art teachers on doing climate education. Whereas the chemistry teacher might need reminding of the emotions, that they should somehow deal with the emotions concerning climate change in their teaching. The visual arts teacher might need reminding that it is good to check the facts behind climate change, so that the teacher doesn't accidentally try to give scientifically wrong information on climate change to the students. I hope this has helped you to understand what Teacher's Climate Guide is about, and it has hopefully also inspired you to use the Teacher's Climate Guide in your teaching. And also I hope that in the future sometime we will have the Teacher's Climate Guide not only in Finnish but some other languages as well. Here you can see my contact, my email address, which is pinja.sipari@gmail.com. If you have any questions or you would like to let me know some comments of yours on the matter. And then there's also again open ilmasto-opas.fi email webpage. Now I would like to wish you good luck with your work in climate education, and I'll say thank you.